Good morning, everybody. We are back with new information, as we promised we would bring you immediately if we had it, on this situation developing on I-95 at Lantana Road. We have learned in just the past few minutes all northbound and southbound lanes of the interstate are blocked at Lantana to 6th Avenue because of what FHP is now confirming is a fatal incident on the interstate, and PBSO is saying that there is a shooting that is connected to what is happening on the interstate that has resulted in it being closed.
So in essence, PBSO is confirming a shooting in the area, and they say that that shooting is connected to the car crash in the area. You see the pictures as we bring you the latest information there. And again, traffic is backed up in both the north and southbound directions. FHP says it is a fatality that has happened.
I do know early on this is going to be a mess, presumably through the lunch hour.
And that Chopper 5 is the only this is the only place where you can get that perspective. So as soon as we can get Johan up and running, we will go to him. And I understand he is up and running right now. So let's go to Johan in Chopper 5. Johan, what can you tell us?
Hey, good morning, John, Rox, and Holly. Yeah, showing you the slowdowns here along I-95. What a hectic morning it's been. This is in the Lake Worth area. We're showing you southbound. This is southbound 95. Now, what you're seeing right there, that is at 6th Avenue. That's southbound at 6th Avenue. You can see they're forcing you to get off right at 6th Avenue. Zooming in here, let me get you right there, nice and tight there. There is where you're supposed to get off southbound along 95. You can see a police motorcade there, the motorcyclist along the emergency lanes there. Zooming back, showing you the lanes north or southbound here are about around almost to Forest Hill Boulevard, southbound. We just passed 10th Avenue. Actually, it's just before 10th Avenue there. I'll zoom in and show you the Lantana area. This is southbound 95. That's approaching 6th Avenue. Zooming down here, right in this area, that's Lantana Road. And you can see northbound Lantana Road. This is where the situation happened. And you're getting these live exclusive tight shots here coming from us, from Chopper 5, as you do always with us. Right there is where the situation, the police situation, has northbound and southbound 95 shut down. Zooming in as tight as I can right here. You can see that see the car vehicle damage that's on the left-hand side of northbound 95, right-hand side of the screen there. And you can see multiple Palm Beach County Sheriff's officials, FHP, along with Palm Beach County Fire Rescue on scene here. This is the scene of, as you can see right there, especially in the middle there. Look at those two cars there and that one over to the right. Even a vehicle over on the south side apparently looks like it hit the retaining wall to the middle part. Zooming back real quickly, and we will stay on that one tight shot there. That is where southbound is starting to push you off at Lantana.
Johan, thank you very much. We want to go now back to Michelle Casada, who has established a good. There you've got. We see you now. Go ahead, Michelle.
Roxanne, I just got word from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office that they're going to have a press briefing in about a half hour or so. So we're waiting for them to get ready for that. But I want to show you the scene behind me. This is at the northbound entrance of I-95 on Lantana Road. So we can see that all of that police activity is very close to this northbound entrance. We see a command post in the distance. You see Florida Highway Patrol lights, ambulances, Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies, and several detective vehicles that are on scene. So you can just see how massive this investigation is going to be. As we know, 2 people dead, another person transported to a trauma hospital, and another person transported to a non-trauma hospital. 6 to 8 cars were involved in a crash down here on I-95. We know Palm Beach County Fire Rescue had to come and extinguish fires, triage people out of occupied cars, injuries. Everything was a massive scene out here, and we see that northbound on I-95 is shut down here on Lantana Road all the way to 6th Avenue South. It will remain that way for the rest of the day. Now, we're still learning to find out what exactly happened to involve a deputy. A deputy-involved shooting is part of this investigation as well. We know there's another scene that's connected to this scene in Lake Worth on 1600 South Dixie Highway. We've shown you pictures from that scene at Neighborhood Market Plaza where something happened there. Whatever transpired was brought here onto I-95 and included a deputy-involved shooting. So all of those details will hopefully come to light in the next half hour or so when the Sheriff Bradshaw comes and briefs us on what exactly happened. We know this all started early this morning around 9:50 a.m. is when the Palm Beach County Fire Rescue responded to the 6 to 8 multi-car crash here on I-95. Many drivers still trying to come through this northbound entrance ramp, being turned around by a swarm of police officers, deputies that are out here behind us at this Lantana Road overpass on I-95. So definitely, as we've told you, try to find alternate routes. When we were trying to get here, I think it took us about an hour and a half to get here. We were headed southbound on I-95, and we had to get off the highway at 6th Avenue South. That's where it's shut down, I believe, all the way to Hypoluxo. So a huge mess for commuters today, trying to get to lunch, trying to get home from work. But the big story here, you know, 2 people dead, deputy-involved shooting, 2 others in the hospital, and we're waiting to find out exactly how 2 scenes nearby here are connected. Hopefully we'll have all that information for you soon.
The sheriff's going to be speaking within a half hour, but the 2 people dead or 2 people in the cars, there's no deputy injured. Is that correct? Have we established?
Right.
Okay. All right.
That's right, Roxanne. The deputy is not injured. We know 2 people are dead, and we don't know exactly how they were involved in this whole incident.
Keep repeating details because we know people are joining us and folks are joining us from home. We want to keep everyone informed about what's going on when you see this incident, the deputy-involved shooting on I-95. Thank you, Michelle, and Johan giving us another view of this scene on I-95 at Lantana Road, which will be closed for the rest of the day.
Shooting there and a subsequent accident, and that took... Traffic was backed up for about 9 miles on I-95 this morning.
And we heard Michelle say how long it took her just on I-95.
Took her an hour to get there.
And now we have Ashley Walters also driving along. Are you still on 95, Ashley?
Yes, that's right. We are, you know, I'll actually give you this perspective because what you see right over here, this is 10th Avenue North, the exit. We are headed southbound on I-95, and as we look out the windshield again here, you can see this is such a mess. When we entered, we found those backups stretching all the way back to Forest Hill Boulevard. It is very slow going, still moving here just before this 10th Avenue North exit, but I would definitely not recommend, if you're headed southbound, this is not the route to take. Earlier, we did see some cars taking their way over to the right-hand shoulder and making a U-turn to get back off the interstate, probably learning what was happening and what was ahead. So again, as you look out this perspective, you see about how fast we're moving, just, I don't know, what, 10 miles an hour, 8-9 miles an hour. So this is not traffic that you want to try to contend with. I would get off as soon as you can if you're headed southbound through these spots. Send it back to you.
If you're heading out to lunch, that would give you indigestion before you have your first bite. That's just just a mess this morning. As you can look here from these ground shots, the number of PBSO and law enforcement on scene investigating this PBSO deputy-involved incident where 2 people are now dead involved in the vehicles, not a deputy. You see the traffic that's backed up. Northbound I-95 actually is going to be just closed for hours at Lantana Road. So just expect a mess on not only I-95 but the side roads as well, as you've seen from Andrew Ruiz and you've seen from the chopper video of downtown Lake Worth, where there is another investigation going on connected to this one on I-95.
All right, let's send it over to Mike Trim right now. He's in the newsroom with some updated information for us. Mike?
Yeah, John, thank you. And if I could ask Johan to kind of get to that, show that crash site itself. And I'm going to try to take you, maybe if you're just joining us, give you a timeline of events and what we know so far. As Johan zones in on that crash site on 95, I want to tell you that here in the newsroom, I can show you this picture and show you kind of where it started. It was at, if we come out here to the newsroom, we could get to that at 9:50 this morning. There was a call for that accident, but it started somewhere here, 1600 South Dixie Highway in the Lake Worth area, the My Food Grocery small shopping plaza. This was taken by Jason Hackett, one of the first reporters at the scene. You can see the crime scene tape. Heavy sheriff's deputy presence. We have still not confirmed exactly what happened at that plaza, but that is expected to be told at this news conference that's coming up in about 15 minutes from the sheriff's office. Now, from there, we do know and confirm that this is related to that scene you're seeing on Chopper 5 right now. We could even bring that up full and kind of show that scene, because 6 to 8 vehicles crashed. This was around 9:50 this morning, just before 10 o'clock, and even one of the vehicles was on fire. Firefighters got there, started to get everyone out of the cars. 2 people died in this crash. We are not sure if those people were initially related to that South Dixie Highway scene. We just know from Palm Beach County Fire Rescue that 2 people died in this crash site that you're taking a look at right now. We're talking about 6 to 8 vehicles involved. In addition to the 2 people that died at that crash scene, 1 patient taken to a trauma hospital, so obviously some very serious injuries, and another patient as well taken to a local non-trauma hospital. So you can see for good reason why 95 is shut down. There's a lot of investigating to do as we come back out here to the newsroom. There's a lot of pieces to put together. We are confirming things slowly but surely. We want to make sure the information is correct that you have when you go out there. But for now, you need to tell anyone driving in and around that part of Palm Beach County to really pack the patience and take an alternate route right now. Back to you guys.
Boy,
That's the word to the wise. Yes, patience. Indeed. As more and more folks start joining us, tuning into a different program now, we're going to try to bring you up to speed little by little on the ground and as well as on the air. Up in the air in Chopper 5 regarding what happened. We heard from Sheriff Rick Bradshaw about 20 minutes ago. Give us a thumbnail sketch of what it was that happened. They got a call early this morning at 9:30 of a shooting in Lake Worth. A white male shot a white female. She was killed. Moments later, they got a call of a black Nissan Rogue going north on I-95. Cars were crashing all around that car. There were 3 separate accidents as a result. A trooper stopped the driver of that Nissan, attempted to use a taser on him. A deputy was in fear of his life and that of the trooper, and then shot the suspect. And you saw that harrowing video that somebody shot right there on the scene from their cell phone camera. That suspect in that black Nissan Rogue is now dead, and he was also connected to a shooting that happened last night in West Palm Beach. So those are the basic details of what we're following right now. Right now, let's toss it over to Jason Hackett, who is over at My Neighborhood Grocery, where that first shooting, the initial shooting, took place. Jason?
Yeah, this is where all the chaos, I guess, this morning started. I've been talking to witnesses out here throughout the last few hours. I've been here on scene for 2-3 hours now, and they tell me that it all began with an altercation this morning here in the parking lot of the My Neighborhood Grocery. This is 1600 South Dixie Highway. This is in Lake Worth. I'm told that a man was arguing with a woman here in the parking lot. That's what witnesses tell me. They say that that argument got heated, it got escalated. It got to the point where the man took out a gun and shot the woman in the face. Now, witnesses tell me it was a horrible scene. They tell me the man was standing over her. He seemed distraught. He seemed remorseful. He picked her up, put her in that car, and then those witnesses tell me that he took off towards I-95, and that's where that other scene took place. We spoke to some witnesses out here. As I said, some of them didn't want to go on camera. Some did. They talked about what they saw, and they talked about what this shooting means for them here in this neighborhood. They say usually doesn't see things like this. Take a listen.
It's a terrible thing that's happened lately, especially today what happened to a young lady. I feel real bad because it's affected my business. People don't want to come out, and, you know, this is a good neighborhood, but bad things happen around here.
So we still don't know the exact relationship between that man and that woman. We're still waiting for confirmation on that from PBSO. Witnesses out here tell me that that was that man's girlfriend. We're still not sure about that. As you can see, a fire truck just pulled up next to me. The scene here still very active, still a lot going on here at the grocery store. Obviously, the parking lot is closed off here. Nobody being allowed in. A few people were allowed out a few minutes ago. But I want to show you one more thing here on scene. The gridlock here on the road is pretty bad. It's been backed up for the last few hours. It's actually cleared up a bit, but it's still a slow go if you're going here on South Dixie Highway near Washington Avenue. So you want to avoid the area for sure. This is where a lot of people are taking that detour from I-95. So if you can avoid this area over the next few hours, be sure to do that. But we're going to stay out here. We're going to gather more more testimonies from witnesses, and we'll bring that to you guys as soon as we can. Back to you.
It's just been a mess through central Palm Beach County today because of the incident in Lake Worth at Dixie Highway, the south part of Dixie Highway, 1600 block to I-95 and Lantana Road. And then that's resulted in the congestion and the traffic problems all through the central part of the county.
It started even earlier with a separate accident that had nothing to do with this, and a separate shooting that had nothing to do with these two incidents that happened later in the morning. But that one happened earlier in the morning in the Boca Raton area, and perhaps some residual traffic backups because of that.